Yeah, I think from my side, like I was like around 22 years old when I made my first 100K US dollars. I was at the age of 22 years old, and literally, because three years before, I think it was like 2 to 3 years before, that was when I started getting into the markets, when I started learning about what I can do and what potential the markets has for me. So only like a few years later was when I was able to break through that 100K mark, and yeah, from there we scaled. So I believe that I was around 22 years old. I think for me, I wouldn't say it was a surprise, because at the end, like, it was something that I've been working towards. I even felt like it came late because I had goals of reaching those numbers a bit quicker. But how I saw it wasn't that thing of like, I was waiting for that mark of 99.999 and then boom, 100K, then I celebrate. No, it wasn't like that. Like, it was actually in a much more like me just going through, doing my things on the laptop, and then one day out of nowhere, while checking through my bank statements and stuff, then I saw, oh wow, in just like, the last 2 months, or in just the last month, I've been able to process this much. And I was like, oh, I'm interested in knowing how much I made in the last 3 months. When I looked at it, and then I saw, oh wow, yeah, I did get to that 100K stage. But it wasn't even that thing of, it took me all those 3 years to see my first 100K. It was actually like a process of a few months for me to see it. So yeah, it was, I wouldn't say it was surprising at first because I didn't see it as when it was. But after like, after it sunk in there, I've made 100,000 US dollars. That's when I was like, maybe since it came without me seeing it this way, maybe if I can just up my goals, like, 10 times my goals, I'll be able to reach much more bigger goals without me even seeing or keeping track. Because if I see or keep track, I feel like it's gonna be hard of me to be able to, at the end, get to that level, because I'll be looking at it every single day, trying to, if I do one simple mistake, instead of me just saying it's an obstacle or a hiccup, I'll be seeing it as I'm failing my bigger goal. But if I know deep down in my subconscious mind that this is my goal, and I do whatever that it takes in order to get there, then automatically, then by the time I look at it, like by the time I look at statements or income, whatever, I'll be seeing that, oh wow, I actually went past these numbers. So yeah, it wasn't surprising, but it was a beautiful feeling to know that I've achieved something that I thought was impossible for me to do. I think, in terms of challenges that I have faced while trying to get to those numbers was like, obviously I was still in the hood at that time, I was still young. And for me, it was close to impossible because I've never seen anyone around or physically do that. Like, I only saw people from social media, obviously. I only saw people from like on the internet, but not physical. So for me to believe on its own, it was not possible. But eventually, like, as I started hitting smaller numbers and as I started hitting smaller goals, that's when I was like, what, maybe it's possible. As long as someone out there was able to do it, then it means that I can do it. So yeah, at first it was having that belief that I can actually be the one that's in that position. And secondly, I would say it was like, when you're working towards something and you put in that much effort into it, there's days whereby like, something is gonna happen. Like, let's say maybe you're building a website, and then on the day whereby you are launching that website, the hosting company, like maybe you have to pay and you haven't got the money to pay that hosting company, then boom, like, it's a major failure, and you don't know how to rebound from that. So I had like, a lot of obstacles. I had a lot of obstacles, like being stuck in the hood. I had, first of all, my situation, I had like 20 friends, so every time when I tried to press my laptop, I'd have 20 people that would try to come over, they want to smoke weed, they want to do their own thing. So automatically in my head, even me, stats are saying that I should also leave my work and be with them and smoke, So I had that. And as well, I was still living with my dad at that time, so it was also a bit more tough, because for me, I wanted to be at a specific level first before I could move out from home, like have enough capital. Like, I saw a lot of people would like, make comments and say, you're claiming to make money, but you are still at home, that type of thing. But for me, I knew what my goals and plans were. Like, I knew, instead of listening to that and using it as pressure, but instead what I've done is that I knew that, okay, for me to be able to move out, I need to have my own car. I need to be able to maintain my whatever rent is gonna be, whatever that's gonna be. I don't want to be calling back home and telling them that I don't have money for this and that and that. So I had to make sure that I reached that level at first. So those were the obstacles, like being surrounded by friends. My dad always telling me that like, I'm always on my laptop, you know, it's not gonna benefit me anyhow. I dropped out of school. Obviously, like all situations were against me, so he was making me feel like every day I was failing. And yeah. So those are the biggest things. And I think one of the ways that I overcame that was I kept myself busy. Like I tried to distract myself from everything. I think the very first thing that I've spoken about this before. I got my first car, the VW Polo. When I got that car, it wasn't because of like, you know, I'm a trader, I want to like show people what to do, or because like I could have easily bought like maybe your GTIs or something, your Golfs, but I didn't go with that. I saw a way to make an income. So my way with that was if I could buy a car. So during the day I trade and I focus on the markets, I grow my business, and in the evening or at night I drive my Taxify. I have multiple sources of income, and that way can help. So what it allowed me to do is that it allowed me to be able to be distracted from the hood, because as soon as I got the car, I was able to get an office. I got an office. Around those times I had a small office. I was working there by myself. So every day I would drive to the office, and then I'd be locked up in there up until like in the evening. In the evening, I'd go back home, refresh, get on the road again, and then start driving Taxify, you know, collecting people here and there. So that's what I'll do every single day in order of myself to distract from the streets, everyone, whatever that's going on, my dad telling me negative things, 1, 2, 3, and only just so I can focus more on me working on what I need to be working on. So I spend like literally 90% of my time working and cutting off people and stuff. Yeah. So some of the incomes that actually helped me excel or get to that 100K a bit more quicker, where obviously, you know, I've been trading in the markets. That's something that I started trading. That's something that I started with, but I spent most of, because I was more of a swing trader since I was more of learning the markets. Like I was still in the learning phase, even though I was like a few years in, maybe 2 years in, but I was still on the learning phase. So for me, I was spending most of my time not trading but back testing. So I was more back testing, and then I was swing trading, like basically just holding my trades for the week, for the month. So it wouldn't make me that much, but I knew, you know, I would still be able to go back home with something at the end of the month. So that's one thing that actually helped me massively. So what I done is that I used that money to as well do what, to now focus more on, because I remember I even had my company Forex Chasers, and what we done is that we offered like, you know, online classes for people, because I noticed like I tried to do physical classes whereby I go physically sit with the person and help them, and I think I done it for a day or two, and you know, I was doing them for free actually, and the other time, like, you know, I had meetings with people, they didn't show up, you know, and I was like, you know, I jumped in taxis, you know, I invested, you know, and they didn't show up. So my mom was like, why don't you charge money? And I was like, is that possible? Then I looked, I was like, oh yeah, let's see if I can do that, you know. It's even them appreciating my time and efforts, and at the end, me teaching someone, it allows me to learn more so I can reteach them better things. So when I started doing that, it also gave me some sort of freedom, or I can say freedom, to be able to share, teach, and at the same time be able to make an income from it. Because later throughout the year, at first it wasn't really generating money. In fact, it was even losing money, because I spent so much money building my company, like, you know, obviously setting up a company, websites, all those things, managing, that's money, and I wasn't making money from it. But as time went and as people started seeing, I think it started picking up when I started driving Taxify, because at that time those were like mostly my two main incomes. But I eventually I was able to grow my accounts, and I bought my car. And when I bought my car, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drive Taxify so I can add more to my income streams. And I drove only for a month. While driving, that's when, like, you know, a lot of things started to pick up, because like from there I had like sort of like a financial freedom. Like my trading money wasn't only coming to, it wasn't handling my bills, my pocket money, and as well my growing my company. My trading money was strictly going to my company, and the money that I was making from Taxify, it was like literally taking care of my living expenses and stuff. So now I was able to be able to experience that breather. And yeah, and also what I done is that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna document my journey, because I believe that within the next few months or years, I'm gonna become, like, you know, successful and stuff. So let me just document my journey now to show where I come from and to see where I've been at. So what I done is that I started recording videos. Little did I know that YouTube actually does pay. Only like when I had like over 30,000 subscribers, I had someone that was like, how much are you making? I was like, I don't know. Do you get paid? And they were like, yeah, you do get paid. I was like, wow, that's dope. Then I went on to it. I applied for that monetization, and then I started getting paid. I think my first YouTube check was like maybe $1,000, you know, and then from there I've been getting over thousands of dollars every single month. But you know, so that's just like, you know, it started picking up, like, you know, at first trading, and then we went to, I'd say maybe like, you know, the Taxify business, and then my online business, my online where I teach forex chases, where I teach people, and then from there it also went to YouTube. YouTube also became an income stream for me. And as I started going, I started being interested in, because I would see myself now making $10,000-$15,000 being at home. So I started learning on what can I do to make money being at home. That's when I also got into things such as affiliate marketing, on which a lot of people, I believe that I've spoke about this in my book. I spoke about it on my YouTube channel, so people that are following me should know about this. So with the affiliate marketing, what I've done is that I didn't want to promote things that I'm not using or things that I'm not familiar with. Like, you can't promote anything. Like, let's say for instance, if I'm using this laptop, I can tell someone, buy this laptop, and you buy it on Amazon. If you get it on Amazon, it's $1,000. Maybe I get 10% from that. You understand? So for me, that wasn't part of, you know, the business. What I've done is that, since I'm a trader and most people are asking me of the types of brokers that I trade with, how about, like, you know, I become an affiliate for the brokers that I work with. So I started getting that. I signed up as affiliate with them, and then boom, next thing, a couple of months later, I'm seeing myself making this much money. So also affiliate marketing, but back then it didn't really play a big role. Like, I was making maybe $200 or $100 a month type thing, but it was able to, you know, take care of maybe gas and other things. And as well, I started scaling more things. I also got, like, you know, an online store where we sell apparels and stuff. So with that also, I just learned on marketing it and being able to just put it out there and, you know, basically just target different types of audiences and stuff. So I got that too, which was able to also you know, allow me to put my brand out there, at the same time be able to make money from selling this merchandise and stuff. And from there, it's just like, you know, I started growing my income streams from, like, you know, all those numbers to over 11 income streams. Some of them I even forgot about them, because it's like literally just passive type. Like, it's just an income stream whereby I literally just put a link and then I forget about it. Then boom, when I look in the dashboard, maybe I've made couple of $100 here and there, or maybe I've made a few $1,000s here and there. So yeah, but at first, those little income streams are the ones that actually played a role in where I've been. And yeah, I'll never look down on them. Until this day, I'm very grateful to have those income streams. Okay, the impact that I believe, like, you know, it came with, like, you know, making 100K, especially at the age of 22 years old. Obviously, like, you know, looking at it, even, like, you know, in rents, like, we're speaking of at least over 1.5 million. And, you know, it's not like, you know, I had a lot of responsibilities. Like, you know, it's not like I had, like, you know, maybe bills that I need to pay and stuff. It was like still that thing whereby I'm still figuring myself out. I'm still trying to pay this and this and that. So obviously you do know that, you know, family, there'll be a bit of expenses here and the bills, debts that, like, parents have been in. At first, like, you know, I had to get out of a debt. Like, during that, with that 100K, I had a debt of 150K, because at first, like, you know, I was able to, you know, accumulate debts of 150K from some of the friends that came up to me and they wanted me to like, basically just trade for them and stuff. So I took those accounts, and at the end, like, you know, it didn't go too well. But I'm a man of my words, and at that time it wasn't the right business model, but it was just like me doing favors it wasn't my business, it was me doing favors for a friend, because they were like, I've got money, I don't know what to do with it. I was like, I've got a skill, I don't have money, maybe we can, like, I take that money, you use my skill, we make money, you benefit, I benefit. So it didn't go too well. So yeah, so eventually I had to pay up those bills. So the first maybe $10,000 from the 100K, it went back to paying off debts and stuff. And I'm moving forward. Like, I remember my mom called me the other day and she mentioned that, like, you know, she had a SUV truck, so she wanted, like, needed paint. It was still old, 1, 2, 3, so it needed paint, needed, like, new, to redo certain things to it, and she needed, like, money. So I had to send her money, like, I think close to 10K, somewhere around those numbers. We sent it to her, and then she was able to, you know, repair that car. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that I'd done before even, like, showing that I was making that much money. I was doing that for my family, because I'll tell my mom, I'll celebrate with her, hey, I can't believe I've made this much. She'd be like, wow, no, hey, this internet money of yours, hey, I don't trust too well, let's see. Then I'd withdraw, and when I withdraw, when it hits my account, then she'd be like, oh yeah, plus I'm struggling with 1, 2, 3, then I'd have to help her out. So yeah, you know, I took care of certain things, and I started telling her that certain things don't worry too much about, I'll start taking care of them. And as well, even with, like, you know, my brothers and them, like, you know, I was like, you know what, I don't have all the money in the world, but things like, you know, such as cell phones, you know, things such as, like, you know, toys, your hoverboards, all those things, those are things that, like, you know, I can easily just provide for my family, just so they're able to also experience, like, nice things that they actually do want. And as well, there's things that I also done for my dad, even though, like, you know, I barely talk about him and things that he done for me and stuff, but there's things that I also done like in terms of help out here and there. Like he also had his own issues and things that he needed like help with, so I also took care of that. And also while growing, like, I had a baby, so my baby also needed like responsibilities, like, I had to take care of certain things. But one thing that maybe I'd done with myself, that I'd done for myself with that 100K would be, maybe I got a car, like the A45. And it's not even that A45 that I got that made me happy, it's being able to give my mom a car, because I had the Polo and I had and I went and got the A45. When I bought the A45, I lost interest in the Polo. I was like, you know what, I'll buy more cars. I don't want cars like this anymore. I want just super cars. So let me just handle my mom this and stuff. So I took that car and I gave it to her, and since then, like, she's never driven that car. I bought it like when it was still brand new, so it had like 0 mileages. So when I gave it to her, like, I only had like maybe 5,000 kilometers on it, so it was still brand new. So for her, it was like a brand new car, and she's been loving it. She never complained. And yeah, for me, experiencing that other one car, Mercedes-Benz, for me, it was also a beautiful moment. I was still young and stuff, I was still trying to see what's happening here and there, but being able and being exposed to all those things, it was dope. And I think the impact that it has done for me also is, being able to, because I've never been a person that spends money like that too much. Like, I'm always a person that's indoors making money. I'm more focused on making, like, today you can say let's go do this, or you can say you want money from this and I won't have money. But if you tell me about a business deal that needs $20,000 today, there's a higher chance that I'm gonna come up with a way of making, like, taking out the $20,000 for wherever I put my money and presenting it. That's how I am. Like, I don't mind losing money for taking risks. Like, I don't mind, like, literally just this month I believe I've wasted more than $60,000 on just projects that I've invested in that maybe even didn't work out. They just made break evens and stuff. So yeah, that's what I do. And the impact that it has done for me is, I started seeing my bills as not bills anymore, because they were like literally small to the income that I was making. And obviously, like, it gave me that opportunity. Even when I walked in, I've never been a person that walks in clubs, but when I walk in club, like, I'll just get in the order bottles, the bill would come 20,000 and I wouldn't hesitate. Like, I'd literally just swipe, walk out. So that's like, it gave me that opportunity. Just that I'm not a person that's more into designers. If I were, maybe you'd see me just going every week in designers, but I'm not like that. I'm much more of a person that loves spending money on what can make me more money, like my business, my learning new, buying courses, doing this. So I wouldn't say that it impacted a lot in terms of the way that my lifestyle had to change. Obviously now I'm no longer in the hood, we are now in different states with different people, we highly security guarded, all those things are different. But at the end, it didn't change who I became or who I am, because at the end, who I've been has always been, like, who I was up until, like, I had to just grow. And certain things I thought, like, I needed money in order to be happy to do those things, up until I saw that, okay, I got the money, I tried doing those things that didn't make me happy, so that's not actually for me. And from there, like, I just had to focus more on finding my passions within me making money, finding the things that I love within me making money, and finding the things that actually make me excited to wake up every single day. Because to be honest, all I do is like wake up, be on my laptop the whole day and be done. So just doing that, if I'm not happy, obviously there'll be days where I'll be like, nah, I don't want to do this today, or nah, I'm not feeling like this, nah. But if, like, even though today I made $10,000, but the fact that I love what I'm doing, I won't even care about how much I made. In fact, I want to work more on, why did I make $10,000 already in the morning? No, I need to make 10,000. Like, if I make $10,000 in the morning, that means if I can still push throughout the day, there's a high chance I can make more, maybe type thing, So it's not that thing of, I'm limited. Like, now it's even, the impact that it has made for me was exposing me to a lot of possibilities of what I can do, and also allowing me to experience the freedom of living wherever I want to live, choosing anything that I want to do on any specific date. I've never really had to, like, even in terms of hours, like, working any type of hour. I don't have to stress about, my bill is coming, I have to pay this thing. No, like, everything is well taken care of. So it's just me working for the future. Like, what is my daughter gonna eat in the next 10 years? What is my, what's my mom gonna be, I don't know, like, what house is she gonna be living in the next 2 years? That's things that are keeping me going now, instead of now, like, what do I want tomorrow? No. Those things are already sorted. For tomorrow, for next month, those things are already sorted. So I think the impact was just giving me that freedom of options, having that freedom of options of doing anything that I want, trying out new things, experiencing new things. And fortunately, the fact that I was able to make it at a young age, it helped me be able to experience these things at a younger age, just so I can also know what I want and what I don't want at a young age. Because already by 22, I knew what I wanted, I knew what I didn't want. I've already experienced a lot of things, and I knew, okay, no, this is what I need to be focusing more on. So yeah, I think that's the impact that it has done for me. Okay, I think from my side, to be honest, like I think it takes like a champion to be in this position. I don't know. Like when I say champion, I'm not saying that that's the same champion. That's not a champion. Like everyone can actually be a champion. And why I say that is because obviously like being in the hood, like being stuck in the hood and stuff, there's like literally 90-80% of the situations are against you. So the fact that you made it through means that you had to fight more than someone that didn't grow up in that area, in that hood, like someone that maybe grew up on the east side. On my side we call the other side the east side, or someone that grew up in a nice area. Like even if they're still hustling, they're hustling with the fact that maybe there's nice sausages in the fridge, they can watch all the channels on TV and 1, 2, 3. For me, yes, I wasn't watching TV. Maybe at times it wasn't an option, but it wasn't an option for me to watch because maybe I didn't have those channels where I could watch. But at some point I had to be like, it's not for me. Do you understand? The fact that I never had electricity for like close to 4 or 5 days, sitting alone, and I was sitting and thinking, instead of using the time to sulk and say everything is against me, 1, 2, 3, I'm in this position, I hate people, 1, 2, 3. Now I use the time to just filter out. I saw during that time frame who were the right friends, who were not the right friends during this dark time, who came through and offered me food, who came through and told me this. So I think I'm more focused on the values that I keep close by is, the value that someone adds from, like I always say this affirmation every single day, that I will not be involved in a transaction which does not benefit to whom it affects, all whom it affects. Mean that if I'm doing something with you, I don't want to be the one that benefits from that by myself. Do you understand? I want you also to benefit from that, even if whether it's experience, whether it's like, money wise, whatever that makes you happy, you have to benefit from it. And also on my side, I also have to benefit from it somewhere, somehow. So we both have to benefit from our time being spent just by us sitting down, having conversations. You're going to benefit from me, I'm going to benefit from you because of things that we know. So I think that it's at first, surroundings, looking at the surroundings, where you are, who you with, are those people helping you grow, are those people helping you out the hood. I remember even back then I had an amazing friend. He lived like, he lived by his own in an apartment. He was driving like, A45. He was driving Mercedes-Benz, C200. So at that time I was like, wow. And I met him when I went to a course. So if I didn't go to a course, I wasn't going to meet him. But I met him there and we became good friends. And he took me as a friend because of my mind, and I also took him as a friend because of like, the things that he was teaching me. Hey man, once you have money, don't do this, rather do this, those things. So yeah, surrounding who you spend your time with, and as well cutting out the noise, the distractions, like things such as social media. Obviously you can see people winning every single day, people living this lavish lifestyle, and now you want to be like them. You want to wear LV belt, you want to wear LV Gucci head to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's not you, but you want to keep up, and and you end up doing the wrong thing. So you need to learn to cut out those. But I think the most important thing that I had to focus more on was discipline. So discipline, what it helped me with was me being able to say I'm going to do that and do it. Me being able to say I'm going to surround myself with only high quality people. I'm going to cut out everyone that's wasting my time. And on top of that, I'm going to cut out all the noise, everything that's not benefiting me anyhow. I'm cutting it out and I'm focusing more on one thing. So that's one thing that actually helped me be able to scale myself. And one of the things that actually helped, I feel that every youngsters out there, is that they shouldn't don't invest in a business, don't invest in a company, don't invest in someone, don't invest in that, invest in yourself. Do you understand? I think the best thing that I done for me was I invested in myself. Yes, I was in the hood, I was stuck, I didn't have a way forward, I didn't see anyone that made it out. I never saw anyone that was in the hood that was even driving maybe a Golf 7R. Like, for me, those things were not even seen. But the fact that I knew it's possible somewhere out there, somehow, for me was like, I have to do something in order to get there. Do you understand? So what I done, I had to follow through with my discipline, saying that, I'm going to be working on this every single day. I'm going to be investing on myself, meaning that if billionaires are saying that I should meditate, I should meditate. Who am I to say they are wrong? If someone out there that's making more money than me saying that I should affirm every morning, I should be affirming if I want to get there. Because if I say, you are talking, affirming doesn't work, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like I'm broke, I'm in the hood. Obviously, I'll say that, and someone billionaire is like chilling on a yacht. and I don't want to even to listen to their advice. So I think I also allowed myself to take advice from people that were better than me, and even people that were not better than me, but people that knew, that made sense from their advices. Someone can be less than you, but can make much more better sense in terms of their advice, and you can still take that. So I'm a person that listens. I learn more from people. Like, I'm one person that if you sit like this in a group, I won't say a lot. I'll rather keep quiet, maybe say something, open up a conversation, and then leave it like that. Like, guys, imagine how making 100K, how difficult it is making. Then I keep quiet. Then I listen to everyone talking what their beliefs are. So I'm more like that. So I learn from people. But the most important thing is just to be disciplined. Like, if you're stuck in the hood, you've got no way out, you've got no options, everything is against you. That's nothing. Like, we've been through situations like that. There's even people that have been through worse, and there's people that are not even in that situation. I'm sure people watching these videos, some of them are trading, they're profitable, they're not making that much money yet, but they're not in that situation, so they are okay. So you shouldn't, the most important thing you should be focusing on is just you being able to just be disciplined towards what you have to do. Waking up, showing action on your goals, writing down. I think also me waking up, writing down what I'm gonna do throughout the day. And till this day, I still write them down. I still tick down, oh, I done this. I write down my weekly goals, my monthly goals, my yearly goals. Those are things that actually help me stay in alignment with my vision. And for a youngster out there, no matter what you do, you could be trading now. Trading is not working out for you, and you know that you want to make 100K in the next 2 years, and trading is not working out for you. It doesn't mean that you have to force. No, maybe just take a step back, start another business, do whatever that's making money, or that you can see that makes money. Just don't jump from one thing to the next, but do whatever that you think would make you money. And when you do that, then from there, then you can start reinvesting back into maybe trading or something similar to that. So don't just close your eyes onto one simple thing and say this has to work no matter what. Yes, your vision is that thing that you have to close your eyes and say this is gonna work no matter what. That's your vision. But the things that you are gonna be required to do inside of that vision are not something that you should already have planned out in the next. I haven't planned out that in the next 2 years I'm going to be doing this and this and that. But I know it's going to come a time where I'm going to be doing things that I'm not comfortable with, just because for me to, in order to get or reach my vision, those are things that I need to overcome. You understand? So yeah, for someone watching this video, youngster, older than me, I noticed that even older than me, older people than me are watching these videos. One thing that I'll say is that just focus more on your vision, know what you want, write it down every single day, know that that's what you're working towards. Even if you hit a wall like this, just because this side there's an opening, don't just be stuck like this on the wall. Instead, just take that walk, go like this, and then still continue going like this here. Or try to put some, normally they'll say knowledge, which is books, put some books here and then use the books as ladders to overcome that wall.